What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Don't Forget About Me, the Supernova version. So check it out, let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about SPS. Now, I kind of alluded to this in previous videos. I wanted to get around to making this, and I've done videos like this or similarly, looking at something similar in the past, and that is how much SPS is there truly out there if you had a growing player base that wanted more, right? Or even just a decent amount. So as you can see here, according to Splinter Cards from what we have right now, we've burned 182 million SPS out of the total 3 billion that is minted, which means that our current supply, right, our cap supply is about 2.8 billion SPS. Now, I'm going to go over to the calculator so that you guys can follow my work here. And in case I get anything wrong, you guys can call me out and then follow my work as we go through. I don't know why this is not. There we go. All right, so let's make sure I put enough zeros here. So we were talking about 2.8 billion, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2.8 billion SPS that is currently out and available. Now, I want to make this super simple. Let's say we get a decent amount of players that come in and want to buy some cards, want to buy some packs. They're playing at the lower levels, and all they want is just to have, I don't know, maybe 10,000 SPS, right? So you divide this number by 10,000 SPS, and you get 280,000. That's it. 280,000 players trying to have 10,000 SPS apiece leads to less than 500,000. I mean, it's just a little bit more than 250,000. So when we talk about Splinterlands being, being successful and not needing millions of players, this is exactly what I'm trying to get at, right? SPS doesn't need to, we don't need to have hundreds of thousands or even millions of players in order for SPS to be a highly desired asset. And again, I don't know what the price of SPS or the value of it would be at this level if we had this many players coming in, but I'll tell you, if people were fighting just to get 10,000, it would probably make SPS holders very happy right now because we're currently sitting just above a penny. But what makes this even more fun is, okay, well, let's say they don't want to play in bronze or silver or even gold, right? They want to have, they want to be able to get a little bit more out of the game. So they're up in diamond, and so they want 100,000 SPS, right? Just to be able to really maximize those earnings, not just for SPS, but for glint as well. So we divide this by another 10, and all of a sudden we're down to 28,000 players. Much more attainable in my book, because if you think about the fact that we're probably, I mean, I don't know that we're at like 2,000 or 3,000 players now. There's like 2,000 to 3,000 active accounts. So you can say this would be like a 10xing of the current player accounts. Maybe it's not the amount of people coming in, but the amount of accounts that they would start up. Maybe somebody comes in and they want to have like a main account, and they want to have a survival mode account. They want to have a modern account and a wild account, right? All these different things that tend to happen during a bull run, honestly, but I don't know if that's going to happen this time around. But either way, all of a sudden, 10xing the player base from where we're at right now, which is relatively small, seems way more doable to me. In fact, it seems very doable in the sense of if we do have another bull run, if we do have a successful, green candle on SPS that draws people in, and now the team has a great free-to-play mode, they have a mobile app, right? That there's packs in the store, cards available for people to buy, for people to buy. All of that is going to bode very well. Now, can we get to 28,000 this cycle? I don't know, maybe, hopefully, right? But I do think 28,000 over the life of Splinterlands is probably a decent amount. And I wouldn't be surprised if we've had more than 28,000 players come in, like real people come in, check out the game, maybe even sign up in the past, right? We had a major amount of signups back in 2021. And the fact that the game is in a much better place to receive people now, just, I don't know, it speaks volumes, right? So 28,000 is pretty good. Now, here's where it gets even better, right? Wait, there's more. The 2.8 billion is the total supply. So that means everything, I think everything's been minted now, but a lot of it is just sitting in the DAO and it hasn't even really been allocated to anything yet, right? We have a couple of reward pools that are obviously going to go through, and we'll have some extra SPS that we'll need to designate afterwards. But the current circulating supply, at least according to Splinter Cards, is 1.4 billion. So roughly half of that, which means, right, if we just divide this by 2, let's see, divided by 2, that's going to get you down to 14,000 players. 14,000 players, again, much more doable. I mean, hell, even 140,000 players is a lot easier to reach if you're trying to get to that level. So all I'm saying is that when you get a critical mass of players coming to check out the game that want to own SPS for the simple fact that owning SPS allows them to earn rewards in the game, right? It allows them to collect higher amounts of glint. It allows them to level up their deck quickly. It allows them to earn more SPS, get some vouchers, do all the other things, and participate in the game in the way that people want to. Again, this has nothing to do with like the investment side or wanting to just ride SPS up. I'm simply talking about if people want to come in, grab a little bit of SPS so that they can start earning SPS, so not just glint, right? But higher amounts of glint and SPS. It becomes very doable, in my opinion, if we start to see it play out in that way. Again, these are all just fun numbers here. I don't know where it's going to go, but I am saying that I'm much more confident about where the game is now. If we were to head into a similar euphoric bull run type mania that we had in 2021, I think you'd not only be able to pull in a lot more players, but a lot more of them would stick around and they'd want to buy SPS and hold it and grab it for the long term. The last thing I'll say, and this is the final, but wait, it gets better, is that supply of SPS is constantly dwindling. I mean, we are burning hundreds, thousands per day, probably millions per week right now with what's going on with the Conclave Arcana presale. But understand that if you're here for the long run and there's going to be more that is sold, right? More mini sets, more promo cards, more core sets, right? In the next 18 months or every 2 years, whatever it is. I mean, that's just less and less SPS. And the best part is we don't even need to do anything, right? We don't even need to do anything. You could be here. You could just be sitting on your SPS. And as new people come into the game and they come in and they want to buy packs or they want to rent cards or they just want to participate in the ecosystem, they bring credits in, it is the team that will be buying either DEC off the marketplace and, facilitating back-end transactions, or since we do have DEC close to peg and hopefully we'll keep it close to peg without a massive overhang, they will be buying SPS and burning it, hopefully in mass, hopefully in more than, $30,000 worth of quantity every week, which is what we've seen since September. But that's with the player base kind of being at an all-time low, or at least a cycle low. Imagine if that starts to grow over time, where people get more comfortable putting money in, or the game just puts out better content and more content, and people just like participating. Again, not because they're trying to make a ton of money, but because they like spending money on a game in the same way that people do with Web 2, with zero expectation of return. But at least here, the idea is that you get to hold your value, sell it off in the future, and maybe, just maybe, if we hit another bull run or if things get crazy, it goes up in value. That's not promised. That's not guaranteed. None of this is financial advice, but just trying to share that perspective with you guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.